Hey everyone, how we doing? Happy Monday and welcome to a new lap of the Health Marathon. Some of you will be joining us here for the first time. Congratulations and welcome. Some of you, this could be your 10th, 15th, 20th lap with us. So welcome back to all of you too. My name's Matthew Barraclough. I've been around Herbalife now for 26 years, a full-time coach for 11 years. And you'll see me pop up every now in the Health Marathon. I'm very passionate about my purpose with Herbalife and not just with Herbalife, but in general, trying to pay it forward in some way of what Herbalife's done for me, the education in an understanding around nutrition and habits and how people end up the way they are and how they sometimes need to transition their habits, their thinking, their learning, and sometimes it's unlearning a few things in order to get to where they want to be. Okay. And so I've always got so much in my head and not always the time to put it into a video and share it. And so one of my commitments for the rest of this year is to just start sharing a little bit more about my personal philosophies, the things I've learned over the years, in the hope that it will help some people break free of the diet cycle, to think differently about food and nutrition and exercise and what it really takes to not only achieve your goal, whether that's weight loss or fat loss or just living leaner, healthier with more energy and vitality. It doesn't really matter what it is. The game is won and lost up here. Okay, one of the things that I hope you're going to learn to understand about Herbalife very early in your journey is, whilst we love our products and whilst they are award-winning with the #1 weight loss company, the #1 meal replacement shake on the whole of the planet, and we are that for very good reasons. The science, the nutrition that goes into the products makes them world-class. But it's this that we do. This community, this care, this commitment to education and sometimes re-education and trying to get people to think differently about losing weight and feeling better is what makes the difference. When you combine the world's #1 weight loss, weight management product along with a community, one-to-one coaching, these small teams, the safe space to ask questions and all the rest of it, that's really where the magic happens. Okay. And some people, they come to Herbalife hoping and praying that it's going to be the diet that works for them. Okay, hoping that the product is the miracle that's going to change everything for them. And don't get me wrong, you've got a better chance with the products than you have without them because of their nutritional balance. But if you're not committed to change here, it's unlikely that any change you make here in your body is going to be lasting, right? And so just a few words, I don't want this video to be too long, a few words to make you think, right? Let's say, for example, you're overweight, right? And you've struggled with your weight for a long time. Maybe you've done things in the past, lost weight, put it back on again, which means you never really lost it in the first place. You misplaced it. Right? If you ever dropped weight and put it back on, it was never lost, right? You just misplaced it. You found it again, right? And often when you lose weight and find it again, you find it with a few of its friends as well. Okay, it's called yo-yo dieting, and it's just not something that we do in Herbalife once you get it right. So wherever you are, you've got there because of your current understanding, because of your current habits, because of the things you've learned and your beliefs around food, nutrition, and all the rest of it, right? There's a difference between habits and beliefs, but they both play a really big part, right? So like some common myths or beliefs that, carbohydrates are bad, right? And that you have to calorie count everything, right? Or if you don't understand that protein is king, right? If you're not getting enough protein, then you're typically going to be hungry a lot of the time, right? If you think carbohydrates are the enemy and you're missing all carbohydrates, the chances are you're going to be tired a lot of the time, right? If all of your carbohydrates are white and beige, right, the chances are you're going to struggle to lose weight, and also you're going to be tired all the time because the body has to work really hard to break down those simple carbs into things that you can use, right? So a lot of it gets stored. If you have a behavior or a belief or a learning that you don't eat vegetables, okay, whilst I appreciate a lot of people say that, that's something you learn, right? That's something you have come to be. And the good news is anything you learn, you can unlearn. Anything you learn, you can relearn something that serves you better. The habits you have, the choices you make. Sometimes what starts off as a choice ends up becoming a habit, and therefore you don't think about it anymore, and therefore you don't understand how it's holding you back, right? If you think about what's a common one, right? Maybe you're the sort of person that buys a coffee on the way to work every day. Now, once upon a time, it was a decision. Oh, I'll have a coffee today on the way to work. And then the next day you didn't think about it, or you just walked straight past where you usually get it, and so you didn't have it. And then the next day, oh, I see that, I'm going to have a coffee today. And it starts off as a coffee. It starts off as a choice. Same goes for that mid-morning chocolate bar. The same goes for that Friday night takeaway. The same goes for that after work glass of wine that could turn to two. The same that goes for whatever, right? You get my point. Because all of those things, right? All of those things are empty excess calories that once upon a time was a choice and over time became a habit. And if those habits are bringing in a lot of empty calories, and by empty calories, I mean that there's a lot of calories in them, but no nutritional value, then the good news is what started off a choice and became a habit, so something you do now without thinking, it can go from being a habit back to a choice as long as you decide that that is what's going to happen. And where a lot of people get weight loss and habit change wrong is they go, they jump in the deep end, right? And it particularly happens at New Year. They go, right, that's it, dry January, number one. I'm quitting smoking, no takeaways, I'm going to the gym every day. And they go from being this person that had a bunch of habits that didn't really serve them to being this clean eating, working out 6 times a week, teetotal person. And guess what happens? It fails. It fails because they try to go from a normal human being to this super clean eating, lean freak, and the gap is too big. You can't just break all those habits because you decide to, right? If you went from being somebody that drinks coffee first thing in the morning, if that went from a choice to a habit over 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, to then go from going cold turkey on that coffee, you're going to come unstuck quickly. You're going to feel deprived. You're going to start resenting the fact that whatever decided to make you do that, you're going to resent that. So for instance, you start Herbalife and we have our Herbalife tea, and you go, that's it, no more coffee, just Herbalife tea. And guess what? You're going to start resenting Herbalife tea, Herbalife products, your coach, the health marathon and everything, because that thing is depriving you from your beautiful coffee. What you're better off doing is going, right, I'm going to have my coffee on a Monday. I want my coffee on a Monday when I go to work. Oh, great, have your coffee. But Tuesday, I'm going to have my Herbalife tea. Wednesday, I've got to have my coffee on a Wednesday, get over the hump day. Right? So, okay, you have your coffee on your Wednesday, but I'm going to have my Herbalife tea on a Friday, on a Thursday. And Friday, where it's almost the weekend, I'm going to treat myself and have a coffee. So you've gone from having coffee 5 times a week to 3 times a week. That's a win. Do that for 2 or 3 weeks. Right? And at the weekend, I don't know, maybe 1 coffee, 1 Herbalife tea. Right? So you go from having 7 coffees a week, right, first thing in the morning, to 5, or what's that, to 4. You've actually cut your coffee intake by a big percentage, but it's not going to hit you as hard. You're not going to feel as deprived. The chances of you maintaining that for 2, 3, 4 weeks is significantly increased. Then maybe you're going to drop the Friday coffee. I don't need a coffee Friday morning to get through. It's almost the weekend anyway. I'm just going to have my Herbalife tea. Same thing with that mid-morning chocolate bar. Okay, have it a few days a week. If you're currently having it 5 days a week, cut down to 3 to begin with. Replace bad with better. Right? You don't have to replace the chocolate bar with an apple, right? Because number one, that wouldn't be a good choice because there's no protein in the apple. But replace the Mars bar with an Herbalife protein bar. No protein to some protein. That would be a better choice. And when you start taking a long-term approach to creating better habits, and understand it took a long time for you to create the habits you got. That's why they're so strong. And if you try and break strong habits with strong motivation, strong attitude, I'm going to beat this, I'm going to give up coffee, I'm going to just me. You'll do fine all the time. Motivation is in place. And the minute you have a shitty day at work, the minute you have an argument with the other half, okay, the minute you feel stressed or anxious or whatever, motivation isn't there, you're going to go straight back. Give yourself half a chance. The way to break strong habits is by having a plan that allows you to wean off the things that aren't serving you over time. And after 2 or 3 weeks, then change it a little bit more. And over weeks and months, you unlearn, you break the habit, you replace it with something more valuable. So that's all I'm going to say on this one. Anything you've learned, you can unlearn. Any habit you've got, you can replace with better habits. Give yourself half a chance and commit to changing your lifestyle, not being on another diet. If you want to be on a diet, this isn't the place for you. We want to talk to you like adults. We want to talk about the psychology of how you ended up where you are. And we're going to fix it through a little bit of psychology combined with the world's best nutrition products too. Okay. I hope you got some value. If you did, post a comment below. And if this gets enough comments, maybe we'll do some more of this.